What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven, and I have a Razer controller here that very few people know about. Let's see if she's any good. Alrighty boys, over here at the Stormtrooper PC. I'm shooting this video in 1080, not my usual 4K, but hey. Anyway, this is the Razer Wildcat. This is one of the Razer controllers that's not very well talked about, I guess. Not that it's bad, it's just people don't know about it. You hear about the Raiju and the Wolverine Ultimate and the Wolverine Tournament. By the way, I've reviewed all those. I'll have links in the description below. But this bad boy is the Wildcat here. It's specifically for Xbox One and Windows 10, as well as Windows 7. I don't know if anybody's still running that. But this is certified refurbished from Amazon, so things are going to be a little bit different in the packaging. I'm going to mention all the things that are different as I go through it. So you are supposed to have a braided cable. However, this one came with a 10-foot rubber cable, but keep in mind you would have a 10-foot braided black Razer cable. You also would have an instruction manual, which if you've seen any of my reviews of Razer products, they all have the same style of Razer instruction manual, color, good font, English, nice. Anyway, you would also have this on a 3M adhesive sheet where you can apply this grip yourself. I don't know what kind of cockeyed fuck put this on here, but they are super crimped and crooked and doesn't really feel good. However he put it on here, it's actually really uncomfortable, so I'm probably going to attempt to peel it off and re-stick it. Hopefully the adhesive stands up. But we are going to rate this in 10 different categories, kind of like I've done with my recent controller reviews in the past. So we're just going to go ahead and start with the packaging. So this little hard box here, it's pretty nice. It's actually a little softer than I'm used to. You have that little blacked out Razer logo on there, pretty nice. Holds the controller pretty well. You've got some nice soft foam in there, so pretty nice, pretty nice. As I did not get the original box with it, it's going to be non-applicable for the packaging. However, the little carrying case, let's give that a 8 out of 10. You got this little velvet case here, which would hold your cable and all that good shit, your accessories like your thumb caps that come with it. So, ergonomics, pretty damn good. It feels just like a regular Xbox controller, so if you like the way that feels, you're going to like the way this feels. You've got the offset analog sticks, same ergos as a regular Xbox controller, and I can tell these grips feel good. It's just however the gentleman had this before me, he placed them, they don't feel that great, so that is hurting the ergonomics, but that's not the controller's fault, so I will not take that into account. So ergonomics, 8 out of 10. Not the most comfortable thing I've ever held, but a hell of a lot better than the Raiju, which feels like a goddamn boomerang in your hand. Alright, so the analog sticks here, they're pretty damn short and they're not changeable, so that sucks. They are aluminum, as you can see in there, so build quality is pretty solid, but they're just too damn short, and the only way to extend them is to put on a cap like that. Now, if you have to use these caps on here, you have to, because whatever rubber material they use on here feels like absolute shit unless you put these on here, but the little caps they put on there actually are pretty grippy and do feel pretty good. I think the guy that had this before me was eating pizza and wings last time he was playing because they're like an oil slick, so very greasy. I need to Windex them off if I'm going to get any grip so I can shoot, loot, and scoot as I like to do. But other than that, analog sticks, just really short, nothing special, 6 out of 10. Face buttons, 10 out of 10. You already know how I feel about the Razer mechanical switches. I think every premium controller should have these. These are the best face buttons ever. I don't like the looks of this one though. On the Mad Cat here, they're like this bright crayon cartoon pastel bullshit. If they could have gone blacked out or grayed out, or even just had the letters colored, not the entire button, that would earn it a couple points. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. They still feel great, they just look like a child's, well, I was about to say child's wet dream, but that sounds not good. So 9 out of 10 on that. Triggers, typical Razer fanfare, 10 out of 10. They feel great. Trigger locks, I don't really like this little trigger lock mechanism back here. All the other Razer controllers have, you know what, I have Razer controllers over here, I'll just show you. So all the other ones have these here, which feel a lot better. You get positive actuation when you switch them, and they just feel better on the hand, so that's going to lose a point. 9 out of 10, but other than that, the triggers feel solid. There's no like real wiggle or wobble in them, so 9 out of 10. Bumpers, I'm going to give them 8 out of 10. They actuate well, but they're a little spongy and loose and just flimsy feeling. Not to mention, they don't really, I don't know, see how my fingers actually wrap around the top of them and I'm not actually actuating it? That's not good, because I don't even have big hands. So if you had some big old bunch of bananas and a freaking bratwurst in this hand, you're not going to be able to use this controller. So I don't know. Let's give it a 7 out of 10 on the bumpers. Now, these extra bumpers up here, 10 out of 10, hands down. Great placement, and they're mechanical, so enough said with that. 10 out of 10. Home button, nice little bubble design, very smooth, love it. Face buttons, nothing special there. D-pad, 10 out of 10. Honestly, this thing feels great. Good resistance, great snapback, and I do like that it's separated by the faceplate. Very nice. Additional feature-wise, it does have this little audio block on the bottom that the Wolverine Ultimate had, where you can mute your mic, you can adjust your headphone volume from 5 levels, switch between 2 onboard profiles, and then remap keys on the fly without having to use the software suite. So pretty dope. That's a great little feature. I do like the design of this, how it's blacked out and then it has the little Razer logo on there. I don't really like the lime green, but I mean, that's just a personal preference, so I can't dock points for that. But I personally, just lime green on a controller is not really my forte. It's not my Kia forte. But overall, design-wise, as far as cosmetics, just pure appearance goes, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It's a good-looking controller. Now, let's get to the real elephant in the room here. These paddles are completely different than the paddles on any other any other Razer controller. So the Wolverine Tournament has these paddles. The Wolverine Elite had 4 paddles that were like a brushed silver and they were just different. The Raiju had some freaking pancake dinner plate size double paddles on the back. So these may look like they're 4 different paddles, but it's actually just 2 paddles. You can actually actuate them on the top or the bottom. Easier to actuate like that because you're getting more leverage on the lever. They are mechanical, and I think they are in a really good spot. This is right where my hands would rest, and I don't accidentally actuate them when I'm holding the controller. I actually have to intentionally hit them, which is good. The Elite 1 and even the Elite 2 sometimes, those bottom paddles are a little chunky, and I would accidentally actuate them. So, but yeah, the paddles, 10 out of 10. And I don't really need 4 paddles. 2 is good, 4 is great, but I really didn't even use 4 paddles that often. So I guess if you're some esports god, Boy Scout Deluxe, you might need 4 paddles, but I'm really not on that level. I'm a real fuckboy, so I don't really need all that. Overall, just fit and finish feels pretty good. I don't feel any creaking or flexing in it when I'm trying to, you know, snap this bitch in half. So really durable looking controller. You have a 3.5mm headphone jack on the bottom, which is obviously amped in with this little audio box there. Hop over to the screen, share my screen with me. We're gonna go through the software suite, and then I'll give you guys my value thoughts and my final thoughts. Alrighty boys, so this bad boy has no support, no software support in the Razer Synapse app. As you can see, I've tried installing patches and third-party updates and a bunch of other bullshit. Does not work, which sucks. So just like the Raiju, which could only be adjusted through a phone app, this can only be adjusted through no app. I'm assuming on the Xbox you can install like a software suite on that, but as far as using this for PC, I just wouldn't, because there's too many other options out there, because PC usually has driver support for almost anything. Now, this isn't even sold currently by Razer anymore. This is like discontinued. Amazon doesn't have any new ones. You can buy some used ones like I did. You know, I just wouldn't, because honestly, any of them that you get, it's going to be in the same condition that I got mine in, which is, you know, less than ideal. It was missing parts, the grips were installed all janky and shit. And also, I forgot to mention, these paddles are removable, but the only way to do it is to get a screwdriver for amps, a really tiny one, and unscrew them, and then unlock them and unclip them and do like a little 5-stage tango, which is just not convenient at all. So between that and then not having software support, also, when these came out, they were supposed to be a direct competitor for the Elite, I would just get an Elite. They were the same price, and the Elite you can play wirelessly on Xbox because it's a licensed Microsoft controller, or you can play it wired or wireless on Windows, and it had software support for PC and Xbox, and the paddles were removable by magnets where you just pull them off and on, not to mention adjustable thumbsticks and a bunch of other bullshit. So honestly, there's no reason to get this controller. I mean, I'm sure when it came out, it was somewhat competitive, but I don't even think so when it first came out because, like I said, the Elite Scuff was making controllers, obviously. So I don't know where this would fit into. I don't think this sold very many. That's probably why it's discontinued. It's just not a great controller. It does have some of the Razer features that I do love, like the mechanical face buttons and the mechanical bumpers. Triggers feel good. They're a bitch to remove, but like I said, they're nice, so I wouldn't even remove them. I just leave them on there. But there's too many other good premium controllers out there to get. So I mean, this just, for me, it has like a zero value because there's so many other better controllers out there. If you want to go with Razer, get like the Wolverine Tournament or the Wolverine Ultimate. I would get the Ultimate. Or if you want to play wirelessly and wired, get yourself an Elite. Or if you're on PlayStation and you want to play wired PC, wireless PlayStation, get a Scuff Vantage 2. That is still my favorite controller. And I've tested them all, boys. AIM, Battle Beaver, this, that, Razer, Elite 1 and 2, Power A Fusion. I've tried them all, boys. Yeah, I'm not impressed, boys. Not impressed at all. So that's it. Peace.